What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to focus on the best ways to farm the Reveler's Essence material that is part of the spring event in Destiny 2 called the Revelry. Now this material is used for a number of different things, but the focus on this video is going to be getting enough of it to A, buy the linear fusion rifle, the Arbalest, and B, to make sure you have enough of these to buy different packages from Eva Levante. She is the vendor who's back for this event, and she has the Reveler's assortment package for 75 essence. So these do cost quite a bit, but as you can see, these will give you some pretty neat things. Right there I only got a couple enhancement cores and a blue piece of armor, but this will contain ornaments, gear, and other assorted treats. So this is a nice way of getting a good amount of different materials throughout this event. Now the first thing I'd recommend here is make sure you do all of the daily bounties that she has. You'll notice that she has 5 each day. These only cost you 250 glimmer. They're easy to get done, and each one will give you 25 essence. So just from buying these, you're going to have enough each day to get at least one package from her each day. Now don't confuse those with the weekly bounties that she has. The weekly bounties will give you powerful gear for Revelry different things. So these I've already gotten done, except for I think one of these. I only have, I think, one of these left, and if I turn that one in, you'll notice that it gives me a powerful class item. So if you want to get some decent armor, you want to make sure you're doing her weekly bounties, but when it comes to farming the essence, it's the daily bounties you want to grab. So grab those. They're easy to get done, and they're going to give you 125 essence per day. To get the Arbalest fusion rifle, you need 300, so you're going to want to make sure you're saving up a lot of that essence as you go. So once you get done your daily bounties, then you're really left to the different activities in this game. And you can get essence from every single activity you can do. So whether it be public events, whether it be the Verdant Forest itself, Crucible matches, Gambit games, all of those activities are going to give you various amounts of essence. And I think personally that the Verdant Forest, if you can get a decent team, you're going to get the most from that, because you'll get a number of essence when you get done at the boss encounter, and you're also going to get a lot of essence too from the different chests that you'll find throughout the various stages. Now the thing is, with this, it can be a bit monotonous, and also too, there's a certain point of lost returns. You don't want to necessarily go to stage 40 or stage 50, because as long as you can defeat the 5 bosses at the end, then you want to make sure you're kind of stopping at that stage and beat the 5 bosses. If you beat 5 bosses, there's going to be 5 chests, and you're going to get a good amount of essence from those chests. But if you don't want to do the Verdant Forest, there's other ways you can get this material. You can do forges, you can do Gambit games, etc. And I will post a link in the description, and I'm also going to post a pinned comment on the different amounts you can get. But we'll go through those right now nonetheless. So if we look here at destinations, the first one we'll go to is the Vanguard. If you do strikes, they're going to give you 11 essence per strike. So it's a decent way of getting some essence here throughout the game. If you wanted to farm strikes, you can easily get a lot of essence that way, especially when it's a player-friendly modifier like heavyweight. I don't know exactly how many you get from a Nightfall. I imagine it is a bit more, so maybe somebody can let me know in the comments how much those will give. If you focus on doing Gambit games, then Gambit itself will give you 16 per match, as Gambit Prime will give you 14. So the Gambit games, those are traditionally a bit longer. They give you 16, whereas Gambit Prime will give you 14. Don't know exactly how many you get from the Reckoning. I know you do get the material from there, but my personal opinion is you probably want to avoid that, because Tier 2 and Tier 3 can be pretty tough unless you have a really good team. I guess if you have a great team, you can probably fly through this. But again, I don't know exactly how many you get from that. So my personal opinion, though, is to avoid Gambit. Even though you get more materials from it, the games are quite a bit longer. And as you guys know, I'm not a huge Gambit fan. For Crucible, you'll get 11 essence for every game that you complete. Now the nice thing about this is it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you're still going to get 11. And when I tested this with quick play as well as with supremacy and with the private matches, with rumble matches, all of these will give you 11. So the fastest one will probably be playing rumble. You'll get 11 from that, just like you would from quick play. But I think it depends on which game you like the most. Even if it takes a little bit longer, maybe play the game mode you like better than the other ones. Again, doesn't matter if you win or lose, you're going to get the same amount from each of these. what else do we have? We have the public events. So public events will give you 6 of those materials if you do a heroic event, and they'll give you 5 if you don't do a heroic event. So you're not going to get a whole lot there. Honestly, I wish that a heroic event would give you a bit more, but it can be a decent way if you're kind of 5 away, 6 away from having a package. You can quickly pop in, do a public event, and that will give you a good amount. The other thing you can do is forges. Now, forges don't give you that much. They'll give you 7 per completion. So again, I know that these activities don't take very long, but I kind of would expect, especially if you're doing like a more difficult forge, that they would give you more materials. So I think the fastest way is to make sure you're doing your bounties. That's going to be 125 materials a day. It's also going to help you kind of complete that one triumph of completing bounties. I think those are going to be your #1 source. After that, you can do any activity you like the most. Some give you more than others. Gambit gives you the most, but the games take the longest. And I think that that's going to be your best strategy after you get done all of your daily bounties. Verdant Forest is by far, in my opinion, the best way of getting this material. But part of that is reliant on having a decent team. Part of that is reliant on being able to defeat the 5 bosses. So you want to make sure you're kind of gauging how far you have to go in terms of stages with how much time you need to beat the 5 bosses. If you can beat the 5 bosses with less time, then you're going to be that much better off because you'll be able to get runs done much faster. So that was the focus on this video, guys. It's just talking about the essence material. What are the ways of getting it? What are the amounts you get depending on which one you do? And I want to give my opinions there. Guys, let me know in the comments too which one you feel is the best way of getting this. And also too, if you've gotten Arbalest, let me know if you've gotten it and what you think of it so far. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of this spring event, and we will talk soon. See you guys later.